It is usually fascinating to see when people try to switch teams because their team is not working out as they initially perceived, and it is always acceptable. Like, for instance, when you make a statement today, the context of this statement today might not apply in tomorrow's, and there is an urge or a need to go against that statement, especially if it does not fit maybe the narrative, or you might logically or reasonably think that this is not working out for you, and hence the urge of switching teams, which is pretty much acceptable. And in today's video, we're going to highlight how some people are trying to switch sides from MAGA and they are regretting their vote, especially to vote in the Donald Trump administration. But why are they doing so? So in today's video, we're trying to hear out the people who have tried to defect the MAGA side and try to see the right side of history, in quotes. Let's just take a listen.
I am an ex-Trump supporter. I knew this was going to happen. Years ago, during his first run, during his first term, I had issues with Donald Trump. I went into the whole Trump phase because I was very anti-war, and I didn't like Hillary. I didn't like a lot of the past presidents of the time. I grew up during the Bush war era. So when Trump was all, hey, I'm anti-war, I'm criticizing everybody, Democrat, Republican, I'm like, I'm gonna give this guy a chance. But then he continued to send airstrikes into Syria. Then there was the $8 billion arms deal, and every time I tried talking about it, Trump supporters just yelled at me, trust the plan, bro. Is the plan working yet? Is it? Fast forward me to burning a MAGA hat on a charcoal grill, roasting some marshmallows. Don't worry, I did not consume said marshmallows. Lost 80,000 followers on my YouTube channel, only to find out I was right. I was right? Huh! Years later to find out I was actually right. Now mind you, I don't want to be right about the situation. I am very, very scared. I'm a military wife. I have no idea what's going to happen with my family, with my husband. But it's times like these, after years and years and years of people telling me how much of a joke I was and how much of a grifter I was, I kind of want to relish in this moment. I'm terrified, but every time I see a post of a former Trump supporter talking about how they're leaving because it's not what they voted for, I tried to warn people. I tried to warn y'all. I really did. I did. I am scared though.
This is going to be somewhat of a leaving MAGA story. Hi, I'm Bailey. I'm a blue dot in Oklahoma, and I used to be a Trump supporter. Now, I wouldn't say that I was like MAGA in the sense that like I wore all the hats, the shirts, and flew the flags and all the things. But no, I did vote for Donald Trump twice. I voted for him in 2016, and I voted for him in 2020. Now, when I voted for him in 2016, that was the first time I ever voted. I was fully on the bandwagon, and I was like full-blown conservative Christian. In 2020, when I voted for Donald Trump, I was actually deconstructing my faith, which plays a big part in why I voted for Donald Trump. My faith did. Because I was anti-abortion, I wanted conservative values. Even while I was deconstructing, I was still clinging on to a lot of ideals that conservative Christians tout. So I didn't really want to vote for Donald Trump in 2020, but it was one of those things that like I didn't like Biden, and I didn't want to call myself a Democrat, even though I was starting to more align with the values of the Democratic Party. Actually more of like leftist ideals, not even just Democrat. And so what happened, right? Why did you vote for him twice and then now you're a full-blown leftist? So I went to college, and that's not what you think it is. I didn't have liberal arts classes. I didn't have any professors that were liberals. If anything, I had more conservative professors, but I got a science degree. And in that science degree, I had to learn how to research. I had to learn how to cite my sources. I had to have deductive reasoning. I had to prove my point. I had to back it up with facts. And in doing that, I realized that my whole worldview was false. And again, in the meantime, I was deconstructing my faith. I was a Christian, and I was no longer believing in the God I had believed in for 20 plus years. And that chokehold that religion had on me, once I got rid of that, I was more capable of having empathy. I was more capable of seeing the world outside of my own bubble. So in 2022, I voted for a Democrat. And I don't regret it. Unfortunately, that Democrat did lose. It was for state superintendent. Love you, Gina, if you're watching this. But yeah, now I'm a full-blown leftist. Like, I didn't really ever even have a Democrat phase. I went from being a conservative Christian to being what I thought was libertarian, because I was like, both sides are bad. And then I just went full-blown to the left. And I'm happy to be where I'm at today. I love having empathy. I love caring for other people. I love fighting for the truth. I love fighting for justice. And yeah, so if you have any more questions about my story, please let me know and I'll tell you. I'm an open book.
With the kindest and utmost sympathy, I love you. I told you so. And welcome back.
Don't read the comments.
Please say to Latino Trump supporters who regret it, I told ya, or welcome back.
The thing is that I love my family and sometimes we get it wrong, and it's really important that we do our best to get it right when it absolutely matters. Give yourself some grace and start to educate yourself. I know that there's a lack of support, but I'm here for you if you want to move forward and move the needle towards the right side of history as opposed to falling flat on your ass.
I think that right now what we have to figure out is how are we going to come together and support each other during these times.
For real.
Because it's like if I have an aunt or uncle that voted differently, I'm still going to love you because you cook amazing. And my uncle got a car, so I still got to use you, bro. We still got to be family in some way, somehow.
No, I know who you fucking voted for. Was I in the ballot booth with you? No. But do I know who you voted for? Yes. Yes. Do I know how happy you were after the election? Yes. So we're not going to do this. We're not going to do the thing where you're like, you don't know who I voted for. You can't judge me. Yes, I fucking can. And yes, I fucking will. Yes, I fucking will. Okay? I know you believe I'm stupid. That's been established. You believe I am stupid. I am a stupid liberal who doesn't know anything and want blah, 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 blah. You think that because that's what you've been force-fed. I'm not. You're not going to do what the entire media institution does. Is if I say it loud enough, if I say it enough, it's true. I remember shit. I know who you voted for. We're not going to be doing this. Well, we don't talk politics and family. Why are you not talking to us? Because you voted for the same institution that was endorsed by the KKK. That literally had neo-Nazis marching for him. You say, I don't agree with everything that's happening right now with Trump. I don't agree with everything that's happening now. What do you not agree with? Because you haven't said a goddamn thing. You've been a fucking coward. If you disagree with it, and if you feel like he's misled you, why aren't you fucking loud? I'd be fucking loud about it. I'd be loud about it. Oh, white supremacy? Of course I don't agree with that. I would say exactly what I don't agree with. You don't say a goddamn thing. Because you don't want the consequence of people cutting you out because you have zero moral compass, because you have zero interest in anybody that doesn't look like you, speak like you, talk like you, and push everything under the rug just like you. You have zero interest in anybody who isn't a fucking coward. Well, guess what? I'm not. And what I stand for is actually fucking American, and I'm willing to be loud about it because I'm not a fucking coward. And I know who you voted for. Stop treating me like I'm fucking stupid.
So, in the recent days, we've all seen a growing number of MAGA voters who are now expressing their regret over their support for Donald Trump in his second term. And their reasons are varied as they are so emotional. And here's a breakdown of the key themes behind their backlash. Number one, which we all know, has been the foreign policy reversal, which includes the current Iran bombing. Many MAGA voters who have supported Donald Trump from his America First stance and promises to avoid foreign entanglements, but recently Trump has involved himself in this Iran-Israel conflict and the recent bombing of the nuke sites in Iran. Some feel like they have been deeply betrayed, especially for someone who was trying to be, let's try to end the long war in the Middle East. Like, some people even trying to say that Donald Trump promised US that they will no longer involve themselves in wars, and it seems like him engaging in this conflict, it seems like he has started one already, hence the need to try to defect that. But most of it has been immigration. Before I even get into immigration, we're gonna talk about the economic fallout out, being farmers, workers, small businesses. We've all seen the issues of tariffs, where Trump policies have led to funding freezes and trade disruptions that have hit the rural and working class voters very hard. Farmers have lost millions after Trump halted USAID, for me I just say USAID, food aid purchases, which previously supported US agriculture. We've seen farmers in Nebraska, Texas, so many parts of the US like crying because now they cannot afford basic farm implements. And also ranchers like Skylar Holden are facing bankruptcy after USDA contracts were frozen, which has left them with so much unpaid bills. Some voters are now realizing that some tariffs and deregulation haven't helped them in their bottom line, and the bottom line is that they voted for him only for them to lose their jobs like damn fools. Others feel like the education cuts and social policy shocks has been one of those reasons that they feel like they are defecting from MAGA. This is because the rise to push and dismantle the Department of Education, which alarmed teachers and parents who once supported it. Others are reacting to the deportation orders affecting their own families, the student loan policies reversal that are hurting working class voters. And you remember when Caroline Levy, the press secretary, said that they were going to get into the people's banks in order to recover the student loans that are being defaulted. Some didn't see this coming and they feel like they got played. Some voters even admit that they were swayed by misinformation or culture war rhetoric. Some were raised Republican and they have now realized that the platform is slowly getting away from their values that they believed in. Because of this, an online community of regrets has emerged, and subreddits and TikTok confessions have just been on the rise like we have had, and they feel like those who have voted for him 3 times, they feel like they have been betrayed fully. I just want us to continue listening to more netizens' opinion, and then we'll come back with our commentary.
As part of this Leaving MAGA series where I explained that I left MAGA years ago, I want to address the comments that are saying, well, it wasn't the racism that made you leave, it wasn't this, it wasn't that. It was all of it. And it took me going to college to realize that my worldview was wrong, because you have to realize I was surrounded by racist people. I was surrounded by bigots. And when I was able to leave and get educated, I realized all of those things were wrong. So yes, it was the racism for me. It was the bigotry. It was the mocking the disabled reporter. And I honestly, I didn't know about that until it was too late, because I was stupid and I did not pay attention. I was an uneducated voter. I voted for Donald Trump because other people around me were voting for Donald Trump, because that was the beliefs that I had. The religion that I had was what everybody else had. I was not my own person. And I had to do the self-work and take the time to make myself a better person. And coming from a small town where everybody's conservative, you don't even know what white privilege is. It took me leaving my small town to even learn that I had white privilege, and that you can have Black friends and still be racist, right? Like, I didn't understand that concept. So it's not just as simple as, well, he was racist, you should have never voted for him in the first place. I wasn't a good person. So I don't know how else to explain that. I had to learn what being anti-racist was. Not even just not racist, but anti-racist. Unless you've been stuck in a town where your worldview is just this tiny little bubble and it's what everybody else believes, you'll never understand. And I don't expect you to understand. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm not looking for people to pat me on the back and say, good job, glad you changed. But I just want others to understand where I came from so we can help other people deconstruct from the MAGA cult, because it is a cult. It is dangerous, and people are just either really uneducated or they're horrible people. And we're probably not going to get the horrible people out of the cult. But if it's someone like I was, who is just sorely undereducated, there's hope, okay?
This whole political situation has my wife really stressed out, and she's angry about it. And I think she has a right to be angry. And she's mad, like legitimately mad, because she feels that her rights are being taken away. Her rights were taken away. So when my family members come over, she can't have a conversation with them because she's so mad. It escalates into a yelling match, and the person the MAGA person walks away even more entrenched in their views. So it's my job as a good husband to have those conversations because I'm not angry. It's not happening to me. So I can have calm, thoughtful conversations with those people to try to change their mind for my wife, like for my family, for my country. And it's worked. Like it's worked in my family. Like it worked on my dad. I know I'm good talking with people and I do it all the time. I talk to people and I give them I try to give them a different perspective. And I wanted to use that to continue to fight for my country. But it seems like people don't want me to do that. And I don't want to damage those people. I don't want to damage the Democratic Party. I don't want to damage my country. I want to do the right thing. Like that's what I want to do. I don't know what to do. I'll say it over and over again.
I don't know if you guys are aware of it, but a lot of people are saying they're leaving MAGA now and they're angry at Trump. And I'm like, why all of a sudden they're talking about the Iran war and Trump getting involved? Some people are complaining that the groceries, inflation, gas prices, the economy pretty much has not improved like Trump promised. Day one, he was going to lower everything, make all your dreams come true, all the bullshit. So a lot of people are realizing that the economy is not improving. I mean, I don't know what you MAGAs do when you go to the grocery store. You look the other way, pretend that the prices aren't going up for the most things, the most items. A few items have gone down, but not significantly where you can say, wow, I can really feel in my wallet that things are improving. So I guess the last straw for MAGA was the war. That Trump might be getting into a war and MAGA can handle it, can stand it, because they don't want another war. And Trump promised no wars. But you MAGAs were okay when he said, they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. Jimmy goes to school. 4 days later, he comes back with an operation and he's now Julie. All these lies, you guys were okay with it. So you're okay. I mean, you're leaving MAGA. You're abandoning Trump. You're mad at Trump. But you're still racist? You're still homophobic? Xenophobic? You're still enjoying seeing immigrants being deported, families separated, people crying on the streets because their family are being torn apart, and you guys are, that's what I voted for. So you're leaving MAGA with all that baggage, right? So you're not changing. You're the same. It's just because you're mad at Trump, right? You're not realizing, wow, I was in a cult. Wow, I can't believe that I had that perception against the LGBTQ. So you're not acting like that, right, MAGA? The thing was the war. Oh, and the grocery price is not going down, but the war did it, right? Everything else, you're going to take it with you. You're going to still be you. Yeah, no, that's not going to fly.
So guys, here we are, a growing number of Americans, some of whom shouted MAGA at rallies, even I will vote for Donald Trump. Yes, those guys who voted for Donald Trump, not once, not twice, but thrice, are now stepping forward and saying, I regret my vote. At least those are some of the sentiments that we have been receiving online. And that takes courage. The moment you admit something that you got it wrong in politics, especially in today's climate, that isn't easy. It can cost your relationships, family, community, and even your sense of identity. But more and more people are waking up, and not because someone just convinced them on X, or just because they are living the consequences of policies that hurt them, their families, and their values that they thought they were standing for. It's because they believed in economic resurrection. But now what they are saying is that local farms are shutting down, small businesses are going under, and the living condition is not even changing. They believed in peace, but now what they're watching is another ignition of wars overseas, and they believe in family, but now they're facing broken education system, fractured communities, and neighbors living in fear of deportations. It's not just about Donald Trump. It's a moment of reckoning about what kind of country America is turning into. At least that is what they think. Who gets to claim the mantle of patriotism patriotism? Is it the political class? Is it the conservatives? Is it the progressives? Or is it America as a whole? Is America first, or is it other people first before Americans? And this causes regret. And in this context, it's not weakness, it's just a step towards renewal. So if you are one of these folks and you're feeling very uneasy about your past vote, I feel like you're not alone, because there are online communities that are coming about, people trying to express why they feel they regret and what do you think they can do going forward. It's just like a lesson learned from what you've experienced, and as they say, experience is the best teacher. Do we double down on division? No. Or do we rise up for something better? At least that is what I think people should do. And now, because at its best, patriotism is a blind loyalty, and its ability to demand better from your leaders and more from your country, because what you love is too much to stay silent. And the future of America doesn't just belong to any party or politician or just anybody. It belongs to the American citizens. Whether people wear blue or red or any color or no color at all, the people's voice, the people's vote, their vision for just more than America is what matters. And in short, for me, what I feel is that people should not let this go to a waste. If people are feeling they want to defect from their parties to join another party, or just to stand back and try to reason logically, henceforth, they are allowed to do that. There is no need for people to ridicule them. There is no need for people to bash them. Even if you told them and they voted against, it's a free America, land of the free. So if people have realized their mistake, let them learn from it, and in future they are gonna make a wise decision. So guys, what do you think about this whole issue? Do you think MAGA is regretting their vote, or is people faking it and they are forcing it for online engagement? Please let me know in the comment section down there below. Also, don't forget to go and check the original creators. Their usernames have been embedded in the stitched videos. As always, go on to their TikToks, follow, like for this channel. Make sure you smash a huge thumbs up button, consider subscribing, turn on post notifications so that you may not miss my next video. And with that guys, let me meet you in the next one. Peace out.